All right, so we're out here in a secret location, which is one of the largest congregation of eagles in North America. And we're gonna be testing the brand new Sony Burano versus the Sony FX9. All right, let's test out this Burano. Let's see what it's all about. For this test, because wildlife, you use a lot of Super 35 crop sensor, we're gonna be shooting on Super 35. Out of the box, this thing is amazing. You just literally turn it on, press record, zoom into your object, and it literally autofocuses immediately. You really can't beat that for just like a straight up wildlife camera. I love it. So one of my favorite things about actually the Sony Burano, coming from a FX9 user, is the fact that turning it on just feels so good. And here, come over here, I'll show you. So this on-off switch right here, it feels like you're actually turning on a machine. Love that about this camera. Just already, just turning this thing on feels good. Oh look, there's actually a bunch of eagles right here. So let's see if we can get something. There he is. That was a sweet shot.
The ergonomics of the Burano is an easy to use camera. Just smoother and smaller compact size, and it feels just more like a cinema camera.
Look at that. Wow. All right, let's test out the FX9. Nice little bird, kind of chilling.
I think they're coming back right there. You got him?
Yeah. I see
got
it. All right, I got him. Tracking him. All right, now I'm manually pulling focus. He's just doing another loop. Oh, I'm seeing a bald eagle going nutty. Nice little turn. Oh.
Flapping its wings.
Nice shot. That was cool.
The FX9 is starting to feel a little older in my hands. Feels a little bit more on an ENG type of camera. So the Burano has amazing autofocus, and it's really good in pretty much any environment. However, there's always issues that come with autofocus, especially when you're filming wildlife or fast-moving objects.
All right, she's moving. Oop, lost the image. Oh, there we go. All right, back on the eagle. Here we go. Wow, look at soaring.
Here's a great example of this shot of this eagle soaring down and looking for some fish. And right at the point, right where it hits the water, the autofocus starts to misfire and it actually focuses on the water. And so in this case, this shot was missed because the autofocus decided to change and focus on a different object. In this case, it's water. Sometimes the sensor doesn't really find what you're actually trying to film, or the object might be moving so fast that it becomes out of focus. With wildlife, you only have one shot, you can't redo it. And so you have an amazing shot of this eagle flying down and about to capture this, about to catch some fish, and then the camera autofocuses somewhere else and you miss the shot. And so for me, that's a big bummer. That's why I don't really like to use autofocus. Looking at the footage here, as far as image quality, these cameras, the difference in the image quality with a Super 35 is really kind of minuscule. You can't really tell the difference all that much. The colors are a little different, and I actually like the Sony FX9 colors a little bit more. The Sony FX9 actually has more of like a warmer temperature to it, and then the Burano's actually cooler, especially in the shadows. Another interesting thing about the Burano that we found out in post is that it actually has a little bit of grain in it in the shadows. And so that, I think that grain kind of adds more of a cinematic look, where the FX9 in that way doesn't, and it doesn't really come across as a film cinema camera like the Burano does. And I think one of the reasons being is because this camera has more dynamic range than the FX9. The Sony Burano has 16 stops of dynamic range, while the FX9 only has 15 stops. I think the difference between the Sony cinema cameras compared to, let's just say, a Red, is that the compression on the footage is actually pretty low. So they're not compressing it as crazy, and it's actually a great image. So for the amount of data that you are getting, you're getting a lot of data, but actually at a small file size. And I like that. I like to be able to go on shoots and not film over 2 terabytes in a 3-hour session. I like to shoot smaller file sizes. I mean, it's better on my computer, and like in post-production, I don't have to spend as much money on hard drives. I think that's another thing to think about when you're looking at what kind of cameras you're gonna buy. Both of these cameras' images are really great. I don't really see much of a difference between them, especially when shooting Super 35. I know the Burano in other film modes can shoot 16-bit and shoot in high resolution, but for me and what we're doing, it doesn't really matter. What we really care about is good image quality. The image quality for the Burano in other resolutions and in other bit rates is light years better than the FX9, and I would agree with that. The Burano does have an image that is way better looking than the FX9, but at Super 35 in filming similar scenarios in wildlife, it's really not that much of a difference. These are hard subjects to film, but we knew that going into this, and that's why we were doing this test. The price between these two cameras is between 10 and 15 grand, or even 20,000, depending on how much you're gonna build out the Burano. I don't really see there being that big of a difference as far as image quality, especially in Super 35, for it to be a game changer for me to update my current FX9 to a Burano. I think the Burano is a good choice for a lot of up and coming DPs. For me in my situation right now, the FX9 really is doing everything it needs to do. My clients are happy. I'm really happy with my FX9. I love how useful it is as a tool. I think for shooting commercials and lifestyle or documentary, the Burano is a great choice, but it's not enough for me to switch up yet. For filming wildlife, you really can't tell the difference between both of these cameras. I mean, there is some differences, but it's not enough where $10,000 to $15,000 difference really matters. It's where I'm gonna change up my workflow and buy a Burano. The FX9 does an amazing job, and I'm happy with that. Well, this ends my camera review. Thanks for watching, y'all. Please like, subscribe, comment below, and thanks for watching.